Welcome students. In this video we will study about case study tourism in Switzerland, chapter 7. Switzerland is a landlocked country, means a country which is surrounded by land in Central Europe, and it is bounded on the north by Germany, on the east by Liechtenstein and Austria, on the southeast and south by Italy, and on the west and northwest by France. And Switzerland, the total boundary length is 1852 km. It is a union of more than 3000 communes or municipalities situated in 26 cantons. What are cantons? They are a subdivision of a country established for political or administrative purposes, and 6 of which are traditionally referred to as demi-cantons or half cantons, but they function as full cantons. Ordinary citizens are able to participate at every level of politics and regularly exercise their will in referenda. Referenda is a process in which a general voting is done by the electorate on a single political question which has been referred to them for a direct decision. So that is referenda. So people, the ordinary citizens, are able to participate at every level of politics, and initiatives through which the Swiss citizens directly make numerous policy decisions at the national and subnational level. So through this, the referenda, they make various policy decisions. Switzerland has been a model multi-ethnic, multilingual society, with diverse people, where diverse people can live in social harmony. Now we will read about the history of tourism in Switzerland. Now, since the 18th century, Switzerland has been famous for its scenic area. Why so? Because of the presence of Alps, the mountains. Many people from various countries have visited there, and for example, visitors to cross the country were mule drivers, traveling salesmen, pilgrims, and a few naturalists eager to document the countless natural curiosities, mountains, gorges, waterfalls, lakes, and glaciers. How tourism began? Tourism began in Switzerland with British mountaineers climbing the main peaks of the Bernese Alps in the early 19th century. And due to the prominence of these Bernese Alps in British mountaineering, the Bernese Oberland was specially known as a tourist destination. So this was known as the tourist spot, and the first organized tourist holidays to Switzerland were offered during the 19th century. So holidays to Switzerland were offered during 19th century by Thomas Cook and Lund travel companies. And today more than 4500 hotels in the country with overnight stay numbers about 36 million. And apart from providing high employment and increase in country's economy, tourism has also added value to the mountain areas, right, and led to their economic development. Now, why tourism? The why of tourism. Now, tourism is an international. What is tourism? Tourism is an international trade that deals in the exchange of invisible services. So tourism is a type of a trade, an international trade that deals in the exchange of invisible services. And tourists, they come to the country, to spend their holidays or for other activities, for business purpose or any other activity, and they use their capital. And main types of tourism are cultural tourism, business tourism, geographical tourism, personal reasons. So under cultural tourism, this includes sightseeing and exploring different ethnic groups. So visiting places and exploring different ethnic groups. Business tourism, as air develops, travel develops, more people travel to offices and factories around the world. So to travel to offices and factories. Next is geographical tourism. This includes visiting great geographical spots, for education or adventure, for example mountains, etc. Personal reasons, visiting family and friends during special occasions. So that comes under your personal reason. Next is reasons for growth in tourism. So what are the reasons? Number 1, better and faster air travel is making remote areas accessible. So areas which were not accessible before, better and faster air travel is making them accessible. Nowadays people can afford holidays and there is an increase in the amount of disposable income. What is disposable income? There is an increase in the amount of disposable income. So what is disposable income? Income remaining after deduction of taxes and social security charges available to the person, to an individual, to spend or to save it according to his wishes. Okay, to his or her wishes. That is disposable income, the income that is at your disposal. Next, people are becoming more aware about travel from travel shows and advertisement. Increased number of small families with 2 working parents. Internet booking advertising is accessible from home, so people can book tickets easily. More unusual tourist destinations attract adventurers. So the unusual destinations, they attract the adventurous people.